shooting fireworks. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's like too distracting. I wish humanity could just cease to exist while I film. I'll be back. Yeah, so it's quiet now. Okay, so yeah, I'm back with another book video, as you can see. So when I first started making these, I said that I was gonna do them monthly, but the thing is, there are times when I read a lot. At least it's a lot for me. I know a lot for other people is like 30 books a month. For me, it's like 7. Anyway, so there are times when I read a lot, and then times where I don't read at all, and that's how it's been for the last like 3 months. I read 5 books in March, and then I read 1 book in April, and then 1 book in May. So I will show the books that I read in March first, and then I will show the book I read in April, and then the one in May. Also, it's kind of windy. I'm not sure if you can hear that. Also, my mom is talking to my dog. Everyone's being loud. Let's just get into it. So, one of the books I read in March, I don't remember which book I read first. It's fine. Is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. So this follows a young girl named Cassie, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm gonna say Cassie, who is the Queen's Guard. And Cassie has had a pretty difficult childhood, so she's like a really good thief. She's an expert thief, if you will. And the Queen took her in at a young age. And so yeah, we have Kazi, who lives in one city, and then we have another character named Jace. So it follows 2 perspectives, 2 POVs. So we have Jace, who is he's like the leader, I guess. He's like kind of in like a mafia type thing. He's the leader of his family. His dad had recently passed away, so Jace is now the new leader, I guess. And he lives in a different city. So Kazi, she gets asked by the Queen to go to Jace's city, and essentially they think that they're doing illegal activity, Jace and his family. So Kazi, along with 2 other people, 2 other girls, they have to travel to that city and do some digging, I guess, do some undercover work. Naturally, Jace and Kazi fall in love. Obviously. I will say though, yeah, it is an enemies to lovers, but they're not enemies for long. I saw in a TikTok that this was a slow burn, and I'm just gonna say this is not a slow burn at all. You actually get into it really fast. Yeah, you get into it really, you get into their story, Kazi and Jace's story, really fast, and they, fall in love within a couple of chapters, so, But I really like this duology. I'm pretty sure I rated both of them 5 stars. Yeah, I really liked it, actually. I really did. It made me cry. Now, the same author wrote another series called The Remnant Chronicles. The back here. And preferably you're supposed to read this series first and then the duology, because the duology takes place in the same world as this one. So when you read the book, Sarah J. Maas. Sarah, you gotta stop making such thick ass books. I swear to God. Anyway, so this was a 5-star read for me as well. As much as I love her books, one thing I cannot stand with Sarah, okay, Sarah, homegirl, is the whole alpha male jealousy mate thing. I just can't. I find it to be so cringy. I don't like it, but still, she writes badass female characters. Yeah. Again, all of her characters are very similar, in my opinion. I don't find any of the, like, all of the other main characters that she's written after Throne of Glass, like the females, I don't find any of them to be any special because they're all quite similar, in my opinion. But anyway, so this follows a girl named Bryce, who is half fae and half human. And Bryce, she loves to party, she loves to have fun and go out with her friends. And she's a party girl, you know what I mean? And one day, essentially someone close to her, several people close to her, get murdered. And it's a murder mystery, I guess, a little bit. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notifications. It's like a murder mystery type thing, so it is a murder mystery. I don't know why I said that. It is a murder mystery. Essentially, someone close to her is her narrator. Essentially, someone close to her dies, and she thought that they had caught the killer, but 2 years later, 2 years later, other people start to die, who essentially die the same way that the people close to her died. So she, along with another character named Hunt, go on like a little investigation. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, this book did shook me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. There was one part of the book that I was really cringy, but yeah, I actually was surprised. And I cried a lot. I cried a lot when reading this book. Like, I was bawling my eyes out. Yeah. I do have the second book. I showed it in my haul video. I'm not gonna read it though until the third book comes out. But yeah, this book, I recommend reading it, but it's just long. It's really long. But it got the tears flowing. I'll tell you that much. Also, I forgot to mention, this is a fantasy. I don't know if I said that. I don't think I did. This is a fantasy along with the last series I showed you. However, if you do not like fantasy, Dance of Thieves has very minimum amount of like fantasy. Like, it's barely there. It has like a little sprinkle, but like she doesn't have any like special powers or anything like that. This one is fantasy heavy though, and it has a lot of like supernatural creatures. I can't speak. It has angels, chimeras, demons, shifters, fae, vampires, werewolves. It has it all. It has it all. So moving on. The next book I read was Harry Potter and the Chambers of Secrets. I love this book, like the design of this book. I really want all, because I do plan on reading all of their Harry Potter books. At first I wasn't going to, but now I want to. And I really want all of them in this kind of design. It also has like It's just gorgeous. It's getting a little dark. I might need to turn on the lights soon. Anyway, I don't remember what I rated this book. I think I rated it 4 stars. Crescent City, I rated 5 stars, by the way. I think I rated this one 4 stars. I liked it better than the first Harry Potter book. I still like the first Harry Potter book. I rated 3 stars. But I like this one a little bit more. And there are a couple of scenes in this book that are not in the movie, so that was interesting to read. But yeah, I liked it. This is the second book, by the way. Also, excuse my nails, they are horrendous. I changed these are fake nails, and I wore black and then I took it off, and now there's just like black around the edges. Anyway. Then I read the sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked. So this is Kingdom of the Cursed. I don't have much to say. I think so far, Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Cursed, this series is the worst fantasy series I've read. I don't like them. They're just boring to me. I don't know. There's not anything special about them, but I will buy. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a trilogy. I will read the 3rd book because now I've gotten this far, you know. I talked about Kingdom of the Wicked in, I think, my January wrap up. So if you want to see that, you can. But I loved the idea of this series because it has the 7 deadly sins, and I loved that idea. It got me hooked, but it's just not. I'm not a fan. I will say though, I do have higher hopes for the 3rd book because this book did end on a cliffhanger. Something that kind of shook me just a tad, just a tiny bit. So, yeah. Also, they are, I don't even know if you can call these young adult. The first book is definitely young adult, but the second one is a little bit, it's still not, sorry, I don't know if you heard that. It's still not, it's like, I guess it's a little bit spicy, but like, you know, has a little bit of spice. So those are all the books I read in March. Now onto the book I read in, I believe, April, but it could have also been May that I read this book. I honestly don't remember. We have Haunting Adeline. So this is my first dark romance that I've read. If you don't know what that means, just for some reason, dark romance essentially has really dark graphic content, and this one is pretty dark, so remember to read trigger warnings before you read dark romance because some of it is wild, and this book was pretty darn wild, but I actually really liked it. I rated it a 5, but it's more like a 4.5. I saw someone say on TikTok, I think, that it's not fair to criticize dark romance, like certain contents, because it is dark romance for a reason. However, I've seen people criticize dark romance, and I'm not gonna criticize it necessarily, but there was one part of it that I was not a huge fan of. Like, I just feel like I would have liked it better if it was done in a different way. Essentially, this book does have the R word. It starts with an R, ends with an E. I think what made it a little bit different, though, a little different, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Okay, essentially, okay, let's just get into it. So essentially, this follows a woman named Adeline, and she had recently lost her grandmother, and her grandmother lived in like a huge mansion, and the mansion was essentially like it was oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Like in the grandmother's will, she gave Adeline her house. Like after she dies, Adeline will, like, it's, oh my god, I can't find the word. It's Adeline's house, okay? Anyway, and Adeline is an author, so she works from home. And you know, she starts fixing the mansion, you know what I mean? Like, she starts fixing up the porch and the flooring and the wallpaper and all that. And essentially, she finds out that she has a stalker. So this is a stalker dark romance story, okay? I'm gonna end it on that note. Not gonna say anymore. Not only that, like, not only does it have just dark contents when it comes to Adeline and the love interest, but it also deals with child-related content, abuse against children. So it is very dark. So just, you know, be mindful of that. But despite that, I liked it. So it was wild. I was shocked. It definitely kept me on my toes. I will say though, that guy in this book, the love interest, excuse me, his name is Sade, which is like the most edgy ass name, which is nothing I hate about books, is when they give the guy just like an edgy name, like Zaid. Anyways, he's hot though, I'm not gonna lie. Now, the last book I read was Scent of Obsession by Shannon Ritchie. So this one, along with another book I have, which I also showed in my haul, essentially I saw the author herself promote this book, so it's not very well known, along with another book I have, which I showed in my, as I said, in my haul. So I wanted to get more unpopular-ish books, so this is one of the first ones I got, and personally I did like the writing. I saw some people say that they did not like the writing and it felt more like poetry. I did enjoy the writing, but the storyline itself is a little different, so I rated it, I believe I think I might have rated a 2, but it's more like a 2.5. So this follows, this is supposed to be a dark romance, but it's not very dark. Okay, this follows a girl named Lily who is like, essentially she's seen as like very pure and innocent, and I'm not really a huge fan of that kind of, you know, when I was younger I used to love that kind of storyline of like the innocent girl, but I'm just not into it anymore. Not only that, but Lily is just kind of boring, you know. And then we have the morally gray villain, who to me is not really morally gray at all. He's just kind of emo and brooding, and that's it. He, throughout this book, the love interest, the morally gray character, throughout the book, he calls himself the devil, And also, I think he also calls himself probably one. He says that he's like one of the worst men on the planet. But first of all, he hasn't, at least as far in this book. There's gonna be a second book, I think, which digs a little bit deeper into his past. But at least in this one, like, he hasn't R-word anyone. You know, he's not like a person who likes children, you know? So I was like, what do you mean you're the worst person ever? Like, you're just a little bit of an asshole, and you're emo and a little broody. Like, what do you mean? So, like, annoyed me. I was like, what do you mean you're a devil? Like, what do you mean? I don't see it. Anyways, it was just a little bit boring to me. Will I read the second book? Probably. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm interested to see what exactly makes him the devil and, like, morally gray. This one, I said he's just kind of an asshole. I don't know how to explain this book. Essentially, Lily, she has a really good nose. And at first when I read that, I was like, what do you mean a really good nose? Like, she has like a perfect nose. No, essentially Lily has like, she's really good at smelling things. Like, she's like really good at making perfumes. And so she wants to make like the most perfect perfume. Yeah. I don't even know how to explain this book, but it was just a little bit boring to me personally. But you know, it is okay. Also, it's really, really short. It has like 200, a little over 200 pages, and this book took me like a whole month to read. It took me a long ass time. I refuse to DNF. I'm telling you right now, I refuse to DNF, because if I buy a book, I'm gonna finish it because I paid money for it. So even if it takes me months, I will still finish it. It makes good tapping noises though. I will say though as well that the author, Shannon, she's so hot along with her boyfriend. Like, both of them are so hot. Like, she has a TikTok account and she makes like photo shoots with her boyfriend. They're both just attractive as hell. And I did kind of picture them when I was reading the book. I was like visualizing them in my head. So that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and let me know your thoughts on any of these books and what you thought.